Welcome to the Thinking and Dinking podcast. Here's your host, Isaac Milner and Trevor Price.
Welcome back, you guys. Episode 5. It is May 31st, and we have lots to catch up on. Again, thank you for joining Thinking and Dinking. Trevor, our first ever episode where we're not together. What are you doing over there in the BHC? How's Arizona?
Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty hot, pretty windy. But I'm still able to get some pickle in and get a lot of golf in so far.
Yeah. So you have been able to get some pickleball in though?
Yeah, I played singles with my dad the other day, and it was really hot and really windy, so it was really miserable. I'm slowly finding out that you do not want to go to the courts at like 3 p.m. because that's when the wind and the heat kind of pick up.
Okay.
So I need to go significantly earlier, which is when I golf, so I can't, or I need to go later. But I also found out that Monday through Saturday there's open gym pickleball from 8 to noon in the community center. So it'll be on like the multi-purpose tile floor. But hey, that's better than nothing. No wind, no heat.
Exactly. Any pickle is better than no pickle. That's awesome. Yep. Well, good to hear. I was worried about you kind of dipping out of Linfield and not playing at all, so that's good to hear. Guys, we have an exciting episode today. We are going to be talking a lot of pickle. The Major League Pickleball Association had a draft which included one of McMinnville's own, Wes Gabrielson. Also, there was the Franklin Nyc City tournament for the APP. We'll talk about some of the results from that and some new exciting partnerships in the APP world, the PPA world. Trevor, I'd like to hear your opinions on that. Then we'll go into Trevor's Takes, a brand new segment on the show. Obviously, Trevor has been known for his takes that have not aged well on the podcast, so we're going to make it a segment on the show and try to give him a chance to rewrite his wrongs and try to get some takes correct. We'll end the episode today by talking about the newest celebrity to pickleball, who actually won gold in their first ever tournament. So that will be at the end of the podcast. Again, stick around for that. Trevor, we got an exciting list here. I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, I can't wait. This is going to be fun.
All right. So before we get into anything, we have to thank you guys for all the support. As we mentioned in the last one, well over 100 plays now. Lots of love on the family reunion episode with Mark Milner as our guest. Apparently, you guys like what he has to say. But yeah, we got lots to talk about, Trevor. Let's get right into it. You told us that you're playing a lot of pickleball in the BHC. I have been in Coeur d'Alene. If you guys don't know Coeur d'Alene, Tyson Mcguffin, it's kind of his hometown in Coeur d'Alene. But I was up there playing a little bit of pickleball with Mark Milner again, and we got into some singles action. And not gonna lie, he kind of took it to me, Trevor.
Oh,
not gonna lie.
Well, the good thing is you beat him when it mattered, so.
That's right. When there's prize money on the line, I brought out the A game. No, it was funny. I played my dad at 8 a.m. on the public courts in Coeur d'Alene. Huge shout out to the city of Coeur d'Alene. It's one of the most beautiful, well kept up cities I've ever been to. I think on my way there, I passed by like 3 different like pickleball places with like 6 courts at each. It was just awesome. But yeah, so we went at like 8 a.m. and we went out and played, and he won the first 2 games. And then we played 3 more games, and I won all those. But, he doesn't really care that much about those. But right after, he posted on his Facebook, #SweetRevenge, and then a picture of us playing. I was like, wow. Yeah, a little bit of a low blow there, but, we'll get him back. But, no, it was fun. It was fun to play. I was down in Washington. My best friend he got married this weekend. So I was in the wedding for that, and was able to sneak some pickleball in there, so that was fun.
You were able to sneak in pickleball during the wedding?
Not during the wedding, unfortunately. Yeah, the rehearsal day in the morning while they all we're prepping and getting ready. Your boy was at the pickleball courts getting some
No
extra hours
way.
in.
There's no way.
No, I showed up and helped. Don't worry. We all got there at the same time. I was almost late, so we got there in time though. So, but all is well for you, Trevor.
Yeah, it's going great.
All right. For those of you guys that don't know, we go to the same college together, back in McMinnville, Oregon. This is our first time away, doing the podcast, so we're catching up just as you guys are with us as well. So let's jump right into it and start off with the Major League Pickleball Draft. So if you guys don't know, Major League Pickleball is an association kind of like the PPA and the APP. But what they did is they created a super cool and detailed plan for 2022. So basically, what it is they picked out 48 players that are going to compete together in co-ed teams, 12 teams that have like each individual owner. It's like the NFL basically. It's like its own league. So there's 12 teams and there's 3 days, I believe, for the highest prize money events in pickleball. So the prize money for the winning team is the biggest in pickleball history, Trevor. It's 100 grand for the team that wins out of the
That's a
12.
lot of money. That's a lot of money for some pickle.
Yeah, so no kidding, 100 grand. So for one day, so it's basically the equivalent of
For
the
wait, for
NFL's
one day?
Super Bowl. Yeah, so it's like the Super Bowl. So like you
Holy
have to, I'm
cow.
sure you have to like qualify for it. Like
Yeah.
the teams kind of slowly get eliminated, but the winning team is 100 grand, split amongst 5 players or 4 players, 5 to 4. So that's crazy. And we're gonna talk about a little bit about a celebrity later on the show, but one celebrity who's in the Major League Pickleball as an owner is Gary V. Trevor, do you know who Gary V is?
I've seen him on social media. He talks
Yeah,
a lot. He seems like
exactly.
he's a rich and powerful man.
That's exactly the vibe that I get from him. But yeah, so he is actually the owner of one of the teams. I think he has Simone Jardim on his team, and Eric Lang as well. So Eric Lang is Wes Gabrielson from McMinnville. He's kind of his
Of
partner.
course.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool though that Gary Vee, this huge kind of business investor, social media guy, actually owns one of the MLP teams. So that's kind of cool. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, quote from him: "We share a belief that pickleball can truly change lives. It's a sport that engages people of all ages, and the athletes in our team are the hero figures that will inspire generations to come. It's also worth saying we're in this to win." So that was the message from the Gary V, owner of one of the MLP teams. Kind of cool.
Yeah. Beautifully said.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see the dynamic. So I guess this is the official league, but like the top players are really not in this. I mean, you have J.W. Johnson, you have like Eric Lang, Wes Gabrielson, but the guys like Tyson Mcguffin, Ben Johns, Colin Johns, some of those PPA well-known players, even Lucy Kovalova, Matt Wright, Riley Newman, all those guys are not in it. So the dynamic between the MLP, PPA, and the APP is something I still have to figure out. Trevor,
Yeah.
it's a
So
little confusing to you,
this
or
is
what?
kind of reminding me of the Saudi Golf League. I don't know if you've heard about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like a competitor to the PGA Tour, and a lot of the
Hmm.
big names, as of right now, are
Hmm.
loyal to it. One of my sources just let me know that Dustin Johnson will be playing in a Saudi Golf League, which that's a big
No.
name, man. Former
Oh
world
yeah.
number one. So I think that as the this league kind of grows and the good players see
Hmm.
how it unfolds and see that they can win $100,000 from playing some pick. I think that they'll start gravitating towards the league, but as of
Yeah.
right now, they're still all loyal to what got them
Yeah.
where they are, BPA.
Yeah. So we'll see if any big names kind of hop into it, but I don't think you can hop into the MLP. I mean, that's a drafted league. So as we said, Wes Gabrielson, he was drafted to the Jackrabbits. They had a draft reveal party in New York City. He couldn't make it out to the event, but that was awesome. I was
That's
talking to him and
awesome. Yeah.
he was telling me about it. And so yeah, so you're drafted on there. So the guys that are there now. Doesn't mean they can not compete in the other events. But it's kind of cool. It's important to talk about. It'd be fun to watch, see who wins it.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be rooting for Wes for sure.
Oh, of course. Local McMinnville. Um, but yeah, so the Jackrabbits team he's on is owned by Mimi and David Mercado. He's also on a team with AJ Kohler, so the guy with the hockey background struggles with
Right.
overheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy's good though. He's pretty
No,
good.
he's super good and really fun to watch. Let's transition now to the Franklin NYC Open. So this is an APP event, and basically, if you didn't watch it, which in my opinion, APP a lot harder to watch. They're just not as available as the
Yeah.
PPA.
Yeah, I didn't
I'm a
watch
big,
it.
yeah, I'm a big fan of the PPA. They have the guys that I like watching more. Trevor, I know you're probably the same way.
Yeah,
You're not gonna find Riley Newman and Tyson Mcguffin on the
no.
APP that
And
much.
if you're not gonna find them there, you're not gonna find me there. Let's be honest.
You're not gonna find you either. Yeah, that's well said. But there are some well-known names still in the APP, and the total payout for this one tournament, Trevor, was $132,200 for all of the events.
Okay.
That is
That's a big purse there.
Yes. So this obviously, as we talked about, the 100 grand is for 5 people to split. So this is for the whole tournament,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
APP. But still, just the idea of pickleball paying out this much for a weekend of tournament is just ridiculous and super
Yeah.
good for the sport.
Yeah, let's get into the millies.
It's the millions. Imagine. Hey, it's not far off. We'll talk about that later, but it'll be interesting to see how the growth of pickleball kind of unfolds in the next couple of years. More brands are getting into it. We saw Tyson's new deal with Skechers. Can't call it a new deal anymore. Speaking of that, my Skechers have been on back order for about a month now, hoping to get those. That's another story for another day.
Come on,
Um,
Tyson.
I know. Yeah, we'll message him and figure that out. But yeah, so let's look at the results for that tournament, and basically all you need to know is J.W. Johnson and Zane Navratil basically ran the entire tournament. For men's pro doubles, they went undefeated. They got 10 grand to split amongst them, and they just wiped the floor in dubs. Trevor, have you watched much of Zane Navratil or J.W. Johnson?
I watched some of J Dub, but
Yeah.
Zane, the only thing I've really seen of him is when he used to do the chainsaw serve.
Yeah.
And now that he can't do that, I haven't really watched any of his
Yeah.
matches.
Yeah, but I mean, Zane is a really talented singles player. Obviously, really good at doubles as well. But we'll talk a little bit about that singles next. So he loses Zane to Federico Stackstrud in the first round, right? And then comes out of the consolation bracket, makes it all the way to the gold medal match, and then he beats J.W. Johnson in four, 11-6, 1-11, 11-9, 15-3. But proving again why he's the best in the APP. I think him and J.W. Johnson are 1 and 2 in the APP rankings. But yeah, he won three and a half grand from that, so 13-5 just in that. And then we look at mixed. J.W. Johnson gets first in that. Zane gets second with his partner, Andrea. So really good performance. So then in the in the women's doubles, um, Zane's partner, Andrea, got first with Simone Jardim. Lauren Stratman, Tyson's partner in the next PPA event, got second place with Paris Todd. Todd also won the singles, winning 3.5 grand from that. So, an exciting tournament. There was one cool event that we'll talk about later that our celebrity that we'll talk about was actually in. He was in the 3-5 19 plus division, but that basically sums up the APP tournament. Trevor, we care a lot more about the PPA here on the podcast, but it's important to include some of those big names in pickleball that are competing at the APP.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so let's move on now to the PPA. The Select Medical Orange County Cup is coming up, guys. June 9th is the date on that. And in mixed doubles, we talked about it in the intro. There are some surprising teams and combinations. A lot of that is because some people are not playing anymore, not playing anymore. They're taking a little bit of a break. But for that, you have some new doubles teams. So the doubles teams that have not changed are Tyson and Lauren Stratman. Matt and Lucy, of course, are there in the mixed doubles. That's when things start get crazy, though. So Ben Johns obviously not playing. So now you got Colin Johns and Catherine Parento. Obviously, Riley's Catherine Parento's partner for the last couple tournaments, but Lindsay Newman is back on tour, Riley's sister. She was
Mm.
away, I believe, with an injury for a while. So good to see her back and see that dynamic family duo back out on the courts. But certainly kind of a weird timing because right now Catherine and Riley are looking really, really good. So you're
Yeah,
splitting
yeah.
them up.
I mean, I guess that's his sister and whatever, but I don't know how you could ditch Catherine, especially how well they're playing right now. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Lindsay and Riley were certainly really dominant together
Yeah.
back when they were a duo. So, and then the last kind of mixed doubles new partnership, J.W. Johnson and Anna Lee Waters. What do you think
No
about that?
way.
No way?
That's scary without Benny J in the field.
Benny J.
Um, yeah, that's just kind of nerve-wracking, honestly.
Yeah, so in my mind, Matt and Lucy, I mean, you just can't overlook them. They got the most
No,
experience in any of these groups, well, other than Riley and Lindsay. Um, but yeah,
they're
it'll be
they're
interesting to see.
they're a true one seed.
Yeah, you think so? You heard it
Yeah,
here
I do.
first. True one
Yeah,
seed.
but you want to know what I think about this, Isaac?
Tell me what you think.
I think Tyson Mcguffin needs a new mixed doubles partner. Him and
Really?
Yeah, him and Lauren Stratman have not been able to really do much as I would
Okay.
hope as a Tyson fan. I
Okay.
think that Tyson's potential is a lot higher than the way
Okay.
he's performing right now in that category.
Mm.
And I think with a new partner, he would be able to compete for
Yeah.
the gold a lot more.
Okay, so who would be his mixed doubles partner then would be my next question. Because you saw it, everyone's kind of taken up there at the top.
I think with Catherine kind of on the waiver wire, I know she's with Colin. I know she's with Colin for this tournament, but I think that Catherine and Tyson McGuffin could be a potential team that you could see. And I think that they
Oh
would
yeah.
just start rolling fools. I mean,
You think so?
that might be unfair. The PPA might not allow that.
Hey, that actually is a good take. I'll talk to Colin and try to negotiate that, but I would love to see Tyson play with Catherine. That would be really fun to watch. You're right,
I mean, who
Catherine is
wouldn't?
kind of a free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Real quickly here, men's doubles. Another McMinnville player, Will Gardner, 21-year-old. I played with him a lot at the public courts. He is going to be, I believe he's making his first PPA kind of appearance. So he's playing in the draw with Gene Baptist. So that should be interesting to see how they do. They're playing in obviously the top levels. So they're playing against Jay DeVilliers and Tyson Mcguffin. Matt and Riley Newman also in there, and then Colin Johns and AJ Kohler. There's a lot of good names in there. Obviously Ben Johns is not in there, but it'll be a packed men's doubles field. And then we got the women's doubles. Sorry, Trevor, what's that?
Hopefully, we can actually see Tyson and Jay play in this tournament.
That's right. That's right. In the last tournament, I believe Jay had some problems getting in from France, and then obviously Tyson was dealing with some medical problems, wasn't 100%. So hopefully we can see Tyson, period. But yeah,
Yeah.
Tyson and Jay would be exciting to watch as well. Was really looking forward to that in the Atlanta Open. Women's doubles, obviously the usual pairings, Catherine and Leah Jansen, Lucy Kovalova, Callie Smith, the Waters dynamic. And then same thing for the women's and men's singles, except no Benny J. So it'll be a fun event. I believe it starts again June 9th. And that will kind of wrap up all of that pickleball content from all those different associations. There's a lot of information, but it's important to cover in the pro world. Us pickleballers that are, at the lower levels are always trying to watch as much as we can to try to get better and, learn some new strategies and tactics. And so trying to learn from the best of the best in all three of these different organizations. Trevor, obviously, PPA is most important to your heart.
Yeah. For now,
For now. Zane Navratil could grow on you.
No, I don't know about that.
Not a
But
fan of Zane.
definitely that league is appealing to me. It
Yeah,
sounds fun.
Stratman. So I feel like you don't respect Stratman enough. She's one of the best women in the APP, like ranked in the APP. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Maybe Tyson knows what he's doing pairing up with Stratman. Maybe it's a move.
Maybe, but you're telling me you wouldn't want to see him with the Catherine? Come on.
I know Skechers do it too.
Come on.
I know. There's got to be some lobbying. We'll figure it out. All right. We're going to move into a brand new segment on the show, Trevor's Takes. If you're new to the podcast, for context, you got to understand Trevor is one of the biggest sports fans that I know. He watches a ton of sports almost every single day, baseball, hockey, pickleball, golf, football, literally everything he watches. But for all of that, he has made some really horrible takes on the podcast to this point. I believe you're 0-4. I was looking back to the podcast. It might even be an 0-5 on something that you said. And it's just not good. All of his takes have not aged well at all, Trevor, and that's why we're introducing this segment.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed in myself. I don't know where I'm going wrong here, but I think I can turn it around, honestly.
Okay, well, I hope you do, and I'm sure the viewers do as well, so we can provide them some reliable takes. So, yeah, so what it will be, Trevor's takes will be a rapid fire. I'm going to throw scenarios at you. I'm going to throw things that are going to be upcoming in the sports world. You're going to give me your prediction on how it's going to go, the winners, so to speak, and we're going to come back here on a different episode and check back in with these answers. You good for that, Trevor?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, number one, Trevor's takes. Give me the winners of the men's and women's singles and the mixed doubles at the PPA Select Medical Orange County Cup in San Clemente, California, starting June 9th.
All right. For men's singles, especially with no Benny J in the field, I'm going Tyson Mcguffin.
Okay, there was zero hesitation there. Tyson Mcguffin locked in. You're 100% with that.
100%.
Okay. Women's singles now.
Women's singles.
So we got Anna Lee in there. Anna Lee's going to be in there.
Anna Lee, easy Anna Lee. Okay.
You don't, not even considering Catherine.
No, I mean, I just watched it too many times. I know how that's going to go.
Okay. All right. Last one, mixed doubles.
Mixed doubles, I'm going to have to go with J-Dub and Anna Lee. I think Anna Lee
No way.
Anna Lee is upset with her performance in the last tournament with Benny J. So she's went and got herself a new partner. And I think it's time.
Okay, awesome. All right, next on Trevor's takes. Give me who will win the NBA Finals, Celtics or Warriors? For a note, I predicted both of these teams to be in the finals, Trevor. But yeah, who do you got? Who do you like?
Good job, Isaac, with that prediction. I'm going Warriors in 6.
Warriors in 6. Okay, that was quick. Number 3, will there be another coronavirus outbreak? Trevor's takes.
I'm going to go no.
No on the coronavirus outbreak. We're all done with the masks. You heard it from the Arizona man himself. All right, number 4. Trevor, who will win the Stanley Cup? This is hockey.
All right, the Colorado Avalanche will win the Stanley Cup.
Okay. All right, quick takes from Trevor. That was the first ever segment of Trevor's Takes. We'll be back here to kind of go over that and see how that pans out. But we'll move on now to some other pickleball news and kind of wrap up episode 5. Trevor, I don't know if you saw it, but this is pretty important in the pickleball world. We're going to be talking about the celebrity that has kind of jumped into pickleball and competed in his first ever tournament. He went undefeated in the amateur men's singles 3-5 19 plus group. We are talking, of course, about David Dobrik. If you don't know who David Dobrik is, he's a YouTube social media star with over 18 million subscribers on YouTube. He basically makes a bunch of vlog content, collaborates with a bunch of other creators, and kind of does his thing on YouTube. I'm not a big fan of him personally, but he popped up on my Snapchat feed talking about this pickleball tournament, and with such a large audience, it's huge for the sport what he's doing in publicity.
Yeah, I'm not really too familiar with anything that he does, but like you said, sounds like he has a large following, and I mean, if he can use that to grow the game, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah. So Trevor, it's one thing that he shouted out pickleball, and I think he actually talked about a brand of paddles that he was getting custom made for his tournament. So it's one thing he's doing that. Huge publicity for the sport, brand attraction, talk about celebrities getting into the game, increases a lot of viewers, generates more prize money. So all good things. The more celebrities and big names, big corporations that we have in the game of pickleball is huge. But it's another to win gold in the first ever tournament that he did, and to go to the APP Franklin, New York City tournament and win it. He went undefeated. Uh, I think he dropped maybe a couple games, but won the 3-5 like it was nothing. I saw a video of him doing the tweener in practice.
Yeah, well, social media, you never know what you can believe on there, and a social media star. You want to hear another take right now?
Yeah, give me another take.
Diego would roll this fool.
No way.
Diego would roll this fool.
Okay, so you're talking, of course, about your partner, Diego. You think David Dobrik, Diego should happen,
Yeah,
that
let's make it
matchup,
happen. Let's
and
make it happen.
you're betting on Diego.
Oh, everything I
Okay,
got's on Diego.
okay. Both of them won in their first ever singles pickleball tournament. One has 18 million followers. The other is partners with Trevor Price. So those are kind of the ways to separate those two. But that would be fun to watch. But yeah, thought we should include that. That is obviously huge for the sport. In the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of celebrities jump into pickleball big. Michael Phelps, Larry Fitzgerald, they did the Pro Am. Forget where that was, but they were playing with the best of the best. Tyler Reddick, the NASCAR driver, was playing with Matt and Lucy in North Carolina. Gary V, the new MLP owner of one of those teams, and David Dobrik in there now. So it's kind of cool to see the sport of pickleball just growing at such a big rate and these big names jumping in.
Do you know if in the MLP they're gonna make jerseys?
I believe so. There's like logos and like actual like brand marketing to each team.
I
So
need a West jersey. I need a
you
West
get
jersey.
a Wes Gabrielson jersey?
I
That'd be
need it.
sick. That would be awesome. Yeah, I don't know what the story is there, but it seems brand new too. I feel like we'll get more information about that later. Um, but yeah, I think it's cool. The sport of pickleball, Trevor just got into it 2 months ago. I've been in it for about 5, maybe 6 years. But it's a really fun and unique sport. The community is great. There's huge market for just the business side of pickleball, and you'll see just all these big name brands. Skechers, one of the newest, jumping into it, trying to capitalize off of it. I want to see how big this can get. Me and Trevor were talking a little bit about it off the podcast, just like the idea of pickleball going global. Um, Trevor, you have something to say about that?
Yeah, it's like I don't want to say it's an untapped market because there are brands involved in it that are making some money off of it. But just think
Yeah,
if a brand like I know Adidas started making paddles and whatever, but if Nike started making pickleball apparel,
yeah,
they could take over the game. I mean, I personally would love that.
yeah, yeah. It's only a matter of time, I think, until that huge, giant of Nike comes in. But I mean, the companies that are there are reaping the benefits of it. Like a company like Selkirk. We are going to have on this show at some point, we're going to talk to Trevor about what he likes more, Selkirk or Babolat. And when I say Babolat, the pickleball world goes crazy because no one takes Babolat seriously in the pickleball world. I was just talking to, who was I talking to? A guy at the wedding that I was running into talking about the podcast, and he was talking about how he just did not care for Babolat at all. But my dad, top 10 in the world, uses Babolat. Trevor Price, one of the best 3-0s I know personally, uses Babolat. Babolat's a good brand to think about.
Yeah, don't sleep on the babbies.
So I'd love to hear Trevor compare those two in another episode. But the one thing that Babolat is not known for is their durability of their paddles. They break a little easily, but we'll talk very nicely about Babolat and maybe get him on as a sponsor. So we'll see about that. But that will basically wrap up episode 5. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We appreciate all the love on the podcast so far. As we mentioned, the family reunion episode where we interviewed Mark Milner has gotten a lot of good feedback. If you guys want to message us directly or give us some more feedback, feel free to do so on our Instagram. Suggestions for podcasts, things you want to ask us and to include in next episodes. But Trevor, I hope you're having fun. It's obviously a very different dynamic on Zoom.
Yeah, I had a good time tonight. It's good catching up with you. Good talking to you. Good talking some pickle.
Yeah. All right. Well, that will conclude it. Again, guys, appreciate it. If you're enjoying the show so far, feel free to give it a review wherever you're listening to it on. It will help us out a lot. That is going to be all.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Thinking and Dinking podcast.